Welcome back to All About America's Team. It is, in this week's case, Victory Thursday, as we are here to celebrate a Dallas Cowboys Week 1 victory over the New York Giants, a whopping 40-0. That's not all we're celebrating, though. We're here to celebrate Owen not being a fool and actually being 1-0 in his predictions. Although something tells me that's not going to last much longer because he is making a very interesting pick this week. We'll find out later. But first, as you know him, Owen, introduce yourself again in case I cut out because of all my blasphemy and apparent foolishness. But please introduce yourself to the viewers again.
Hello, my name is Owen. I am Ray carries the podcast, but I'm just here to sit here and look like I know something. Been a Dallas fan for the last few years. A lot less amount of years than Mr. Ray, and Ray lets me know that every single day. I'm here to bring up a lot more negativity than Ray is, which is surprising. And I'm just excited to have a good year. Hopefully, in years past, I've been pretty negative about how the year's gonna go. And then Micah Parsons walked into the building, and I don't want to have to bet against that man because he's a scary man, and he could kill me. So I'm gonna stop betting against the man. I guess that's my first apology. Ray and I have been way before this podcast is even a thought, have gone back and forth. And the last time that the Cowboys played the Jets, I remember Ray and I were sitting in a hallway in our dorm in the main level, and we were both sitting there and crying because that was the year or the game that Sam Darnold had just came back from mono, and Dallas looked awful. I think Amari Cooper was hurt within the first 4 plays and just didn't play the rest of the game. Could be wrong. But yeah, the game was an atrocity and it hurt my heart. That whole year did. But Ray and I could make a whole show about how awful that year was. But happy to be here. I'm looking forward to Ray telling me how wrong I am for the way that I feel. And yeah, it's gonna be a great season. This is our 3rd year doing this, and it's gonna be great. It's pretty wild to think that this 3 years ago we were both an undergrad, and now we're doing adult things. So, and thanks for listening to us, and we hope that you continue to do so, and that I know that all y'all are just here to listen to Ray, and I'm just a voice, which is fine. But Ray, just thank you for being here, man.
You are very welcome. And normally I would say, Owen, you are much too hard on yourself. You're much more valuable and you bring a lot of great followers and followings and get our guests on the show. But today is not that day because, as y'all may know, Owen has betrayed his undergrad university, Baylor University, and has moved to the rival school, University of Texas, but he is wearing a Baylor t-shirt. And
I have UT shorts on. Don't worry. I have UT shorts on.
That makes it even worse. But today, I will not be saying, Owen, you are being too hard on yourself. I am saying, yep, you got it absolutely right. I am the man of this podcast today. But before we dive into briefly talking about the New York Giants game, because honestly, there's not much to talk about. It was over in 5 minutes, and I was pretty relaxed. I was pretty relaxed. Usually I get frustrated with Owen for making excuses on why they lost. That day I was getting frustrated for Owen being too negative on the little things. And we're here. We're going to talk about it, and then we're going to dive into the New York Jets game, which shockingly I did cough up $200+ of my own money to go see apparently Zach Wilson play quarterback. That was not the intent. It was supposed to be a see Aaron Rodgers before he retires game, and now I am stuck with the Mormon. So we will see what happens. We'll talk about that game in a couple of minutes. But first, Owen has a lot of apologies to make. And really, I kind of started making this list back in June or July when he was making really, really, really interesting statements saying, oh, the Dallas Cowboys are going to go 4-13 this year, or
At least somebody paid attention to me.
Micah Parsons is going to get exposed. He's going to get figured out. He is nothing without the injuries and he got lucky.
There's context to that one.
Today is not the day for context because again, you are wearing a Baylor T-shirt. Then we have other comments where one day Owen is saying Dak is not the answer. It's time to move on. The other day he is comparing Dak Prescott to Patrick Mahomes. So overall, we're just gonna do a little exercise. First, Owen's going to apologize to
therapy for everybody at home.
He's going to apologize to Dak Prescott first. He's going to say something along the lines of, "I'm sorry for being inconsistent. I will be consistent on my takes from now on." He's then going to apologize to the Dallas Cowboys for saying they're going to go 4-13 when they improved their defense, and we saw that on Sunday night. He's going to apologize to Micah Parsons because basically he's just been spewing nonsense and should have been struck by lightning 5 months ago. And then finally, he's going to apologize to me for making me have to say this all and now I have to listen to it and apologize. So, again, Owen, the floor is yours. And then once you're done, you can just dive right into the breaking news of the day.
All right. Well, I think this apology is like 2.5 years in the making after we made that atrocious quarterback ranking list, and I had Dak above Brady, and then things kind of went downhill from there. But to Mr. Dak, I didn't really know what to expect this past Sunday. I thought that it was going to take a while for the offense to glue, but things are a lot easier when your special teams and defense basically win you the game. So I apologize to you, and I am looking forward to a good season from you. The Cowboys, you hurt my heart, and the way that I cope is saying you're going to be awful. In text form. On the show, you'll get a more positive version of me, but it is what it is. And to Mr. Micah, all right, I'm gonna debunk the first part. What I meant was that his rookie year, they put him as a linebacker. He looked fine. But he didn't have any tape from Penn State rushing the passer. And then as soon as DeMarcus Lawrence broke his foot after week 1, Dan Quinn, being the defensive legend that he is, put Micah at defensive end, and starting week 2, I think that was the Charger game. I could be wrong, probably wrong. Ever since then, he's kind of been a monster. So only bad game in recent history or recent memories last year against the Eagles, where even he said he didn't really play out that well. He was stuck in some zone reads and read options, and he was just getting torn to shreds. Nobody's gonna figure you out. You're I don't know. It makes me want to run through a brick wall sometimes. He's a pretty cool guy. And yeah, apologizing to you. This has just been great, and I apologize to above all things, and I'm sure there'll be more things to apologize for. And I apologize to anybody that decided last year to watch the video or instead of the audio recording, the video recording, and seeing like a 3-13 next to my name when Ray was like 12-4. You got to live with it sometimes. But that was a 9-minute rant about things, and it's what you sign up for when you press play on All About America's Team, brought to you by Delahanty Media, by the way. So we all thought that the game was relatively healthy. I might have gotten pretty excited during the game. It doesn't help because I get tweets, and the tweets come out quicker than the actual plays do. So I get like pre-excited, and I get to watch it happen, and it's like my birthday, like 20 times. But for y'all that may or may not know, Mr. Brandon Cooks with an I, Brandon with an I, sprained his MCL. I have no idea how long that's going to last. He said that he was fine, but apparently not. Zach Martin's did something to his groin. He said that he was going to be fine, but again, who really knows? Tyron Smith is fine, and I plan on talking about Mr. Tyron because I also owe him an apology. And I think a lot of Cowboys Nation owes that man an apology after the stud performance he put on this past Sunday. I think that's everybody. Yeah. That's it. Oh, Donovan Wilson maybe coming back, which would be nice. He hasn't played after he strained his calf in like the first practice in training camp. Jordan Lewis should be coming back. He said he's 100%, but it's up to the Cowboys to figure out what they want to do because, yeah, I think that's it. I think I've covered all the bases. Unless you want anything.
Perfect. No, I'm on board with that news report. Great news report. And I mean, most of those reports are based on the injury bug, and obviously we will dive into how much that really affects the game on Sunday. So we'll just kind of get into the New York Giants game, briefly talk about it, briefly acknowledge how much of a snooze fest it was for a good reason.
I was thinking the same thing.
For a good reason. But if in case you were sleeping through the game or were driving during the game or for some reason did not have any motivation to watch the Dallas Cowboys play, the Dallas Cowboys won 40-0 and were up 16-0 before the offense even got on the field. One, because the Giants' offensive line looked even worse than tissue paper, and the other because Saquon Barkley cannot hold on to the football. And
that was a great hit. You can't. It was a great hit.
It was a great hit, and
it was a great hit.
I remember me yelling at you for being rude to Trayvon Diggs. But anyway,
I think
I just own the jersey.
The
all I do is I just own the
I don't do jerseys. I don't do jerseys. The last time I got a jersey, well, I have two. Was RG3 jersey because I was a Baylor fan growing up, and his career did not pan out.
Did you hear that, guys? He was.
Okay, I am a Baylor fan. And two, I bought a Leighton Vander Esch jersey, and I haven't worn it in a while, and he's been doing better. So I feel like if I put it on, it's going to be doing a disservice to him.
What if you frame it? He might win the MVP.
I might. I could do that. Only thing I'm probably gonna frame is my line jersey, but I could frame the Leighton Vander Esch. It's a good thought. It's a good thought.
Well, every now and then we do agree on something, which is always good on this show. But yeah, let's kind of dive into. I don't really want to spend a lot of time on the defense because honestly, we all expected them to. As even Owen, somewhere down in his heart, expected them to be good, and they really didn't do anything that was super surprising to me. I mean, they did generate 7 sacks and hit Daniel Jones 12 times, but like I said, the Giants' offensive line hasn't been good for 15 plus years, and it's really no shock. If I had taken more than 10 seconds to throw out a score, I would have been like, well, actually, the Cowboys are probably going to run right through them, and then it's going to be actually a no contest because the quarterback's not going to be able to think. He's not even going to be able to add 1 + 1 because he's already going to be on the ground. So that was nice, but I wanted to talk to you about the offense because,
of course,
something like that's not talked about, and I don't really think of it as much of a big deal, but we didn't really see the offense on the field much. And when they were on the field, it did take them a little bit to get going. And honestly, if you kind of dive a little bit deeper, the Giants defense did do a decent job of kind of containing the Cowboys offense, whether you want to say they were just kind of running vanilla plays, going through the motions, trying not to do anything dumb, but they did have to settle for some field goals while they were kind of deep. They got kind of into the Giants territory, had to settle for some field goals. Dak looked okay, not great. He didn't really need to be great, but he definitely if I were to put a negative on the game, it would have been I would like to see a little bit more flashes, at least a touchdown pass before he goes up against Sauce Gardner and the Jets on next week.
Ooh, I would love to comment on that.
You can. Go ahead.
Well, give me 1 second to find this beauty of a statistic. Okay, here it is. Um, Another reason. This is from Michael Gelkin, who is a Cowboys beat writer and reporter and all of those things. And the quote in this tweet, I'm going to read it verbatim. Another reason not to read into Dak Prescott's modest production. His receivers dropped 16.7% of their targets, 4 of 24, which is the highest rate for a game in Prescott's NFL career. And also, I'm sure that everybody remembers there was a throw that was commented on a large amount to Hendershot on the end zone, which should have been a touchdown. And Hendershot, all the tight ends kind of forgot how to catch. That should have been a touchdown. There were some other things that were just not. So I understand what you're saying, but it was yeah. Also to your point, they kind of closed the playbook. They mentioned they didn't really show much, which is fine. I was fine with that. But we're gonna now if this performance goes into the New York Jets game, then I think there's a lot to be worried about. But I didn't mean to cut you off. I just wanted to share that.
No, it's okay. And it wasn't coming from a place of negativity because, as you know, on Sunday night, I said basically I was making jokes.
Of course.
The entire night of, oh, Dak, can you please stop throwing the ball to the tight ends because they stink, and I need you to throw it to my. By the way, I broke my rule in fantasy. Everyone, I drafted a Dallas Cowboy receiver named CeeDee Lamb. So you can imagine how frustrated I was when the Cowboys were up 26-0 at halftime, and I knew that there was no way he was going to eclipse 10 points. But there was one play in particular where I'm not even sure whose fault it was. I'm going to say it was a no contest. It looked like Dak overthrew CeeDee Lamb, but it also looked like CeeDee Lamb mistimed his jump. So I'm really unsure on what exactly happened, but I'm just going to pencil it in as the quarterback's fault because I can.
You can do that.
And just keep my title as a Dak hater, even though I'm not.
It's a good title.
But yeah, I mean, what I was trying to say is it wasn't really a negative. It was more of I would like to see them, see a touchdown pass. The stat line doesn't really matter to me as much. It was like you said, the fact that it was. I don't even remember if it was under 50% or not. But I mean, it shouldn't have been 50% completion because, like you said, the tight ends seemed like they were out there playing for free because the way they were dropping passes was like they didn't even have as salary.
I will tell you right now, he threw 13 for 24, so that is just above. It's 54%.
Yeah, I mean, and it should have been closer to 70.
I mean, if you put in those 5 drops and that you put them on his catches, it's 18 for 24, which is 75%.
Yeah, so we'll pencil it in as a disaster at the tight end position.
Yep.
And normally it's great to have disasters when you're playing the New York. I can't even make the joke because I can't figure out how to way to put it without it sounding weird. So
the New York Football Giants.
Right, but that was not the joke. But we'll talk about it after the show. We'll talk about it after the show. But yeah, when you're playing the B team in New York, and the B team decided not to figure out how to stop the Dallas defensive line, then there's really no reason to do anything stupid on offense. I mean, even if Dak Prescott had played his worst game of his career, I don't think it even would have mattered because that's how dominant the defense was. So I'm just going to pencil it in as a stress-free Sunday. I even got to go to bed before the game even ended, which was awesome. And I haven't done that in a long time. So that was good. That's all I really have to say. I'm happy to be 1-0 in predictions again. And looking forward to be 2-0 after next week.
Solid. Am I as a one Skip Bayless says, is it my turn?
Sure.
As he pounds the table. All right.
I don't think you want to be Skip Bayless today. You have a very short leash with what's coming up in a couple of minutes.
I saw that he got Keyshawn Johnson yelled at him. I haven't
I love
watched the
it.
full clip yet.
I love it.
I
I
don't
like when
watch those
Skip Bayless
shows.
gets yelled at.
It's funny. It is funny. I'll share this. It is funny because apparently he didn't want Nick Wright to join the show because he didn't want someone to beat him at every topic. Apparently he views Nick Wright that highly, and then he's like a preschool teacher, just making sure people don't like get into fist fights whenever he has Richard Sherman, Keyshawn Johnson, Michael Irvin, which is it's a funny little gang.
Well, I mean, don't disrespect Nick Wright. He did have a disastrous Chiefs 20-0 pick, but he's basically right on everything he says.
Oh no, I like the guy. I just find it funny that was like his. I don't want Nick Wright on the show because he's gonna beat me at every topic.
I mean, if I were Nick Wright, I wouldn't want to be on that show either. I'd stay where I am because the show he's on is actually fun.
Yeah, that is true. But I'll get into my little tidbit. I think the okay, how am I going to word this? The MVP of the game, in my opinion, just excluding all defensive players, the offensive MVP of the game, in my opinion, was Tyron Smith. I think that a lot of people watch the training camp videos of him getting thrown like a rag doll against Micah, and I was like, oh, this is going to be a very bad year. And also him rolling his ankle, but he let up 0. And a big 0-0-0 that is. And Kayvon Thibodeau had zero pressures, which is at the first time in his career, his very short career. But Tyron Smith looked pretty great. The only offensive lineman that did not look great was Tyler. Dexter Lawrence kind of beat him, which I understand that. Dexter is one of the best defensive linemen in the league, and it felt good to have Terrence Steele at right tackle. We missed you, buddy. Congratulations on your payday. And we're happy to have you and Zach Martin, which could arguably be the best run-blocking right side of your line in the league. So I'll take that. Also, it's pretty wild. Vial Collins just got cut, and that was who we were trying to figure out who was going to be our right tackle. So Dallas, again, good job. Made the right decision. Happy for you. Also, the run game looked fine. It was cool to see CD out there. He looked good. One thing that I like about this whole Texas Coast offense, or just the Mike McCarthy offense, nothing was forced. There was nothing that I feel like Dallas played smart and they played efficiently. They didn't, even though they were winning, it wasn't like, we're going to put up 50 points on the board, even though they scored 40. But it was their offense. They were smart with how they played. And the only, I guess, throw that Dak had that was in harm's way was when Kayvon dropped back into coverage and Dak threw it between like 3 guys. But you can either say that was luck or a great pass, whatever you want to say. I don't really have a desire to argue, but he did play. I thought they all played all right. But everything else was fine. So there's really nothing to critique, but hoping that they just take how they played against the Giants and play better against the Jets, because that defense is going to cause me to have nightmares the next 2 nights or 3 nights.
Well,
but yeah, I think that
great segue.
Yeah, everybody was good. Aubrey, the kicker, you scared me there for a second, but I think you're gonna be all right, bud. I think you're gonna be all right.
The jury's still out on Aubrey for me. He did not kick a single ball in college, and now he is kicking for the richest
sports franchise
in definitely America, maybe the world. And
probably not the world, but
definitely America.
He looked fine. Besides that kick, apparently it was something to do with like the rain. He did something weird. I don't know, weird things, but he looked fine after. I think just playing in the rain is difficult for all folks. Ask Joe Burrow how playing in the rain was.
Well, I mean, if you want to go into that, then we can just you better hope we don't come back here on, I don't even know, Tuesday or Monday, and the reason why the Cowboys lost when I was in attendance is because of a missed field goal.
I would not like that one bit. I would not like that at all.
So we should not make Joe Burrow comparisons to the kicker who did not play. He played
No, I
soccer.
was just saying in general. Not to compare the two situations, just playing in the rain, I'm sure had a lot to do with the drops and everything like that. So it's difficult.
I think Joe Burrow just played bad. I'm not going to blame the rain. He just played bad.
It looked like Josh Allen was playing in rain. But we can get into that a little bit later.
Yeah, it was not a good day for really good quarterbacks.
No, it was a very good day for
average ones.
Yeah, Kenny Pickett did not play well, but
he's not good. He's bad.
It looks like he may have been concussed in one of the plays, so maybe that explains it.
Well, that's a good excuse for his performance.
Yeah, the Bucks won, which is weird, very weird. They beat the Vikings.
Let's skip that. Let's talk about the Jets. So
I was just saying it was a weird week in football, but yes, the most important game of the week at 3:25 Central Time.
Yes, this is a very sad. Well, it's not as sad. It is sad.
Just turn your head.
It is sad. So before we dive in, I'm going to pay my respects to my man Aaron Rodgers. He is the lone reason. I mean, y'all may think that I decided to spend a lot of my hard-earned money to go to the Cowboys game because I like the Cowboys. That's not true. I spent that money because I know that Aaron Rodgers is on his way out of the league. He is almost 40 years old. He's probably not going to play for much longer. And this was a great opportunity to see him play. And he usually plays well against Dallas, so I was pretty confident it would be a good game. And he's not playing. And it was a really sad injury. First of all, I feel for our the man who started this brand, Nick. I feel for him. He's very upset. And I feel for Mike Greenberg. He's also very upset. It's been a hard day for him. I feel for Garrett Wilson because Garrett Wilson went from being considered after this year a top 5 talent at receiver to now being back to I guess you could say reality, which is what he was dealing with the last couple of years. So it's a tough day. It's a tough day for the Jets team, the organization who thought they were a player away. And we saw on Monday night that they were quite literally a player away with how much they were dominating another playoff team. And I mean, that defense played so well. Aaron Rodgers could have played exactly how he played last year, and they would have made the playoffs, in my opinion. I don't know what Owen thinks. Owen has a different opinion on Aaron Rodgers as a person. So
as a person, yeah, as a player, he's one of the best quarterbacks ever. As a person, he can annoy me.
But even he has to admit that the fact that it really crushed that locker room proves to how decent of a human he is. He really took it upon himself to be a strong voice in the locker room, a leader. He really connected. He did what people thought Matt Stafford couldn't do, but apparently Matt Stafford can do it because they won their first game. Just a slight segue, but he really got to know his players. He bonded with the young guys, and they were all pretty messed up about it. That's not funny. They were all pretty messed up about it, and I'm sad. I'm pretty sure he's probably going to play again, but I'm not sure what he's going to look like. So it's just a sad day. But Zach Wilson is playing quarterback, so that is the main difference of this football game. All the other pieces are the same, except for maybe Brandon Cooks not being out there. So I'll let Owen go first because I kind of did my little pity party. Poor me, I have to watch Zach Wilson. But Owen, what are your thoughts on the game? What do you think is going to happen?
After watching the Bills game, I think that Zach Wilson has the opportunity to lose any game that he throws in. The pick to Matt Milano, I don't think that was a good ball at all. Him running 40 yards backwards and then trying to just throw it out. There are just some weird things the man did. But I think that much like Dallas under Cooper Rush, it's going to be the defense that wins them games. Um, if as long as the defense keeps Zach Wilson in every game and they can run the ball, that's great because Brees Hall ran for like 152, 122. He ran for a lot of yards against the Bills. But let's say that they play a great team like the Chiefs, for instance, and Patrick Mahomes got like 20-0 very quickly. Then Zach Wilson having to throw the ball to win. I don't really have much faith in that unless Garrett Wilson can one hand tip the ball to himself, which phenomenal catch by the way. But it was a weird game. Every year Dallas has that one game where you think they should win, but they don't, and that game usually drives me insane. I do think it is going to be this game. Dallas, and this is where I lose Ray. Zach Wilson, he's going to be running for his life against the Jets, or running for life against the Dallas defensive line, but I go based off of last week how it kind of took Dallas a while, like Ray said, to kind of get into the swing of things. I think that it's a lot easier to get into the swing of things against the Giants defense than it is against Quentin Williams, Sauce Gardner, Reed, Johnson, Will McDonald. So it's a lot easier. I don't think Dak's going to have this like turnover parade, but I do think it just may be difficult to move the ball forward, especially without Brandon Cooks, who is their deep threat. But I'm looking forward to seeing how Jalen Tolbert plays because he will be the number 3 wide receiver for the game if Brandon Cooks does not play. And I'm also excited to see how Michael Gallup looks a year and a half removed from his ACL injury. I will not be surprised if Dallas wins the game, but I would also not be surprised if Dallas does lose the game. This loss is not going to be catastrophic because they played the Cardinals and another bad team.
The Patriots.
Oh, the Patriots. Okay. And the Patriots, they looked pretty good against the Eagles. So that game may not be all that easy. I had the Cowboys losing the game to Aaron Rodgers because Aaron Rodgers, for whatever reason, can just will his way to win against the Cowboys, even if he shouldn't, a la last year. But I do think that this is going to be a test for a lot of the Dallas team. Can they stop Brees Hall? I don't know if they can. Can Stephon Gilmore or Trayvon Diggs stop Garrett Wilson? I don't know. Can CeeDee Lamb beat Sauce Gardner? Again, I have not a clue. I'd like to think so, but Sauce Gardner looked a little shaky in the first half last week, so hopefully the shakiness continues. But Sauce is a really good player, and he's also like 6'7", he's 6'4", 6'3", 6'4", as a joke. But he's a very tall corner, and he's pretty great. So I don't really know what's gonna happen. But I do expect the team to be ready. I would not expect the team to be ready if Jason Garrett was the coach. But I still think that Dallas will lose, sadly, bringing their season record to a big 1-1. I think that this is just a trap game, and I think that it's a lot easier to get up. It's a lot easier to get up for an Aaron Rodgers led team than it is a Zach Wilson led team. And who knows, maybe Zach Wilson will surprise me. For all of you listening on the audio, the death stare that Ray is giving me is beyond hilarious. But also it wouldn't be a fun show if Ray and I agreed on everything. So here I am, taking one for the team.
Well, that was a genius move you just played, but it's not going to work because I know that you're not picking the Jets because you're trying to make it a opposite side of the coin. You're just picking them because, again, it's just you have this weird urge to pick against the Cowboys every single time. And you fell into the trap last year. It got you in trouble. You just apologized about it, by the way, and you're doing it again.
Kelly and
And
Mike did
honestly,
call me out.
and honestly, you make a lot of great points. All of your points are valid. The problem is the quarterback is not Aaron Rodgers.
I know.
Garrett Wilson beating Trayvon Diggs and Stephon Gilmore is not going to matter because Zach Wilson can't get him the football. And I mean, the Breece Hall point is valid. Breece Hall made Dalvin Cook basically look like chopped liver, which is what he was, because Breece Hall, even at 50% in shape, was running past people and avoiding tackles and making big plays and keeping the Jets really afloat in the
Yeah.
game until the defense did something from another world. They got in touch with the aliens on Mars and figured out a game plan to make Josh Allen lose his mind in the second half. But that's a completely different topic for another day. But all the Dallas Cowboys have to do in this game to win, they could win the game 10-3. All they have to do is not give the ball to the Jets in a way other than punting the football. And it's going to be a test for the new offense, because the new offense did not have to do anything in week 1. They're going to go up against a football team that, even with something as catastrophic as the quarterback who was supposed to bring them out of the gutter and back onto the beaches of Hawaii and win the championship and be great again, he's not there anymore. And they rallied, and were able to beat a very good Bills team. No matter how many people think that they're done, they're still a very good team, and they're very deep, and they have a lot of great pieces. And that team's going to be ready to go in Dallas, and all the Cowboys have to do is play their game and not give the ball to the Jets. And I think they're going to do that. And I'm going to be there. I'm going to see it happen. I'm going to be happy. And it's going to be a great weekend. I think it's going to be a really tough day for the Jets offense, because the same players who were letting the Bills walk all over them are the same players on the offensive line who are going to be facing Micah Parsons. The guys up front, I can't pronounce his name, but he had like 5 sacks.
Odigizua, he had 2 sacks.
Odigizua, he looked like he was tackling Daniel Jones every play. They still have DeMarcus Lawrence. They have Sam. They basically have a 10 deep defensive front, and they're all going to be teeing off on the Jets offensive line.
I can't
Zach
wait.
Wilson's not going to know what he's doing, because he's going to be so worried about which side the rush is going to be coming from next. And the guy at left tackle, who shouldn't even be at left tackle, is going to not be able to block anyone.
So, you might hear another infamous Jets quotes. I was seeing ghosts, is what Ray is alluding to.
That's a great point, but you just picked the Jets to win.
No, I'm saying you. That's what you're coming off as. I would love to hear that. That would be hilarious. That would make me very happy. But I do think this game is in a bit.
I would make you wear the T-shirt, and it would say, "I, Owen DeChico, saw ghosts."
Okay, I am a ghost.
I'm gonna have to figure out how to find to make that T-shirt. I'll do some research. That's how confident I am that the Cowboys are going to win. I am literally saying I'm going to make a T-shirt and get it to Owen, because he's not very far away. That's what people don't realize, is I can get him his T-shirt very easily, and he would wear it on this show. It would not be a UT shirt. It would not be a Baylor shirt. It would be that wonderful T-shirt that is basically saying I was wrong and foolish, and I have a 1-1 record. Now for a little bit of I guess heart-to-heart part of this show, where I basically say, look, Dak, I'm going to be in attendance. I'm going to see everything. You're not going to be able to hide behind Owen's Twitter, him digging through the Twitter, the Twitter archives looking for excuses and
Archives.
clips, or saying, option route, it's the option routes. I'm going to be able to see everything. I'm going to see if the safety's creeping up and you didn't see it. I'm going to see if you threw it behind him. I'm going to see if you threw it into double coverage. I'm going to see where every receiver is on the field. So
that you are.
this is the under the microscope game. And if the Dallas Cowboys find a way to not leave Jerry World with a victory, we are going to know exactly why they did not do that, and it's going to be because of the quarterback. Because I know the defense is going to show up. I know there's absolutely no way Zach Wilson is going to carve the defense up. And I know for a fact the Jets, the Dallas Cowboys are going to let Breece Hall run for 225 yards on them, because the Jets can't throw the ball. The Cowboys know they can't throw the ball, and they know that they don't want to throw the ball with Zach Wilson, of course. So it's going to be a very one-dimensional offense, even though people in New York think it's not going to be. It's going to be very one-dimensional. And the Cowboys are going to tee off on them. And I'm going to say the score. This is what everyone's been waiting for. What is my score for this game? Well, the Dallas Cowboys are going to win the game 23-9. That is my score.
Wow.
23-9, 0 touchdowns for the Jets offense. And the Cowboys are going to score a passing touchdown and a rushing touchdown.
Wow.
And then they're going to kick 3 field goals. And that is going to be how the Dallas Cowboys beat the New York Jets on Sunday, 3:25 p.m. It's going to be a lovely day. Maybe the roof will be open. Maybe it will be closed. We'll find out. And I'm actually going to tweet at the game, because what Owen mentioned earlier, which I thought was great, is I don't like to be spoiled during the game. So if I look on Twitter, I'm going to see stuff because inevitably the coverage is a little behind on every single channel. And if you're at the game, you're not going to get spoiled by Twitter because you're literally going to be there. So I can guarantee 20 tweets during this game.
All right.
And if I don't get 20 tweets and the Cowboys still win, I still have to put a 1 where a loss is on my scoreboard. That is my promise. So the Cowboys are going to win 23-9. I'm going to be 2-0. Owen's going to be 1-1. And it's going to be an interesting show when we come back. But I'll let Owen give his score prediction, and then he can dive into his Josh Allen. I don't even know what to call it. I'm just going to say rant, because that's basically what it's going to be.
I have Jets winning 2017. Greg Zerlano wins the game.
Great. That would be a nightmare. Luckily, I won't have to drive home that day.
It's probably better off.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess I'm a little crazy. I think, I don't know. I just think
time. There's still time for you to change your mind.
No, I can't. I can't. I have a bad feeling about the game. Especially because
if you had said the Patriots game is a trap game, I would have been fine. Fine, it's Belichick, it's fine. But you picked the Jets with Zach Wilson at quarterback.
They beat the Bills, man. Anything can happen.
Look, if you really believe that Dak Prescott is a damn good quarterback, you would pick the Cowboys. Because as I said, the only reason the Bills lost is because their quarterback imploded. And the only reason the Cowboys will lose is if their quarterback implodes. So this is basically you putting, as Chris Broussard would say, 10 toes down on the fact that you don't trust the quarterback. I'm going to need...
I don't trust the Cowboys. I think that this game is... I don't know, man. I don't know.
Just dive into your Josh Allen stuff.
I don't get a good feeling about it. I don't know much. I'm not the smartest, not the brightest bulb in the box, but I have a bad feeling about the game.
Okay. All right.
All right.
We'll find out.
Okay. This is going to be a very short Josh Allen monologue. How on earth did LaShawn McCoy rant more about Dak's training camp interceptions than Josh Allen's interceptions in one game? Because mind you,
are we sure
these thumbnails.
Are we sure that LaShawn McCoy even showed up to his show?
Yes, he was there.
That he's paid to attend to.
LaShawn
He misses
McCoy,
a lot of time. If you know, I mean, I know you don't watch the show, but he misses a lot of time. And I don't even watch the show, and I noticed that he's not there a lot.
Yeah. So what he said, okay, during the game, I forget his name. He played for the Eagles. He's on that show as well. What's his name, Ray? I forget his name.
Played for the Eagles?
Uh-huh. He's on that show with LaShawn McCoy.
Acho.
Yeah, Emmanuel Acho. He tweeted.
Acho.
He was like, if we don't talk about the interceptions like we would about Dax, and there's an issue. LaShawn McCoy, like the thumbnail was the Bills need more help. And the thumbnail for Dak's interceptions was like, are they cooked? That wasn't what it actually was, but I'm just gonna make some fun with it. It's funny. Because there were a lot of interceptions most of the interceptions that Josh Allen threw, they were like ducks. You would just see us throw them. They were like arm punts, which is fine. But
don't. You're doing great. You're doing great. You're doing really good.
Okay. I'll continue.
Trash the man.
I do not understand how, you get reports all off season that Stephon Diggs wants out, and you have to have Stephon Diggs like mentally wanting to play for you, because if he doesn't, your team's kind of cooked, man. You just drafted Dalton Kincaid, which is fine. You have Dawson Knox, which is good. You have James Cook, who looked fine. You have that other wide receiver that had like Davis. 3 touchdowns.
Gabe Davis.
Who like everybody says is washed now, which is phenomenal. So you're gonna need the dude to play. And like he was like, be smart, man. Be smart. And you have some reporters that are saying that Stephon Diggs isn't a good character, so Stephon may want to leave regardless of the play. But I don't understand how you can just play so poorly. It's kind of crazy. I didn't know that since 2021 he's led the league in turnovers. He had 5. 3 interceptions, 2 fumbled, 1 fumble recovery. 5 against the Zach Wilson-led offense. That's insane. And it wasn't even like they were like great plays on the defense. They were just that one where he rolled out to his left and just chucked it up. He had like 20 yards of real estate just to just run. And it was like things like that, just I don't understand, because I could be wrong, but Josh Allen is always top 3, top 4, top 5 in quarterback rankings. And in my opinion, a top 5 quarterback can lose to Zach Wilson, but not in that fashion. And it pains me because I look at that. I watched the game and I was just like, if this was Dak, tomorrow would be a national holiday. And I would sit in my room or sit in class and go through Twitter and I would weep because LaShawn McCoy would call him some not nice things. Everybody would call him not nice things. And that hurts my heart because I like Dak as a person. But I just wish that, segueing into to the main point of this rant, I wish that sports media they bashed everybody appropriately. Because for instance, I saw a tweet earlier, P. Diddy, who has come on this show before, mentioned that Skip Bayless loved Dak, loved him. And then as soon as Dak opened up about his depression, about during COVID when his brother passed away, and he was like, "You can't be depressed. You're the leader of a football team." He's hated the dude since, and it's like that's not a thing you should hate a quarterback for. And now he like says that Cooper Rush is better than him, and he says Trey Lance is better than him. I don't know. It's a bunch of nonsense. But there are a lot of things that Dak and a lot of the stuff that Dak gets hate for is real. He threw a lot of picks. A lot of them were on him. But then you have, and even like they were tearing up training camp film, and Acho and McCoy had to go to Cowboys practice to like they left pretty quickly according to reports, but they had to like go there to like make it a big thing. Like, oh, we're gonna see how bad he is in real and like with our own eyes. And it's just like that's cool. You wanna do that? That's great. But also talk about the dude that has 3 interceptions in a game and a fumble or 2 fumbles, and don't say that he needs more help because his help was fine a year ago, and they added Dalton Kincaid, which people wanted, which was widely regarded as the best tight end in the draft. He did. I don't think he went. I don't think he was the first tight end drafted, but he was the best pass catcher. And it just, I don't understand Twitter or just national sports media in general, and I just wish that they were less biased towards who they yell at and who they give praise to. Because I remember Chris Collinsworth covering a Chiefs game, and this is the same play has happened to Dak before, where he drops back. There's either a wide receiver or a running back. Ray, he's having some fun, and it's a little swing route, and he throws the ball 5 yards behind him, and it just one quarterback does that, and it's like that was awful. But Mahomes does it, and Colin Hunt's like that was the best throw of the game, and it was like no, that was not the great throw. Just like make sure that it's all even. That you either love it, you just critique everybody the necessary amount, and Dak critique him that way, but also critique other dudes. Because, Joe Burrow throwing 83 yards in a game is not great. But that's all I have to offer. Because if Dak threw 83 yards in a football game, I would resign from the show. I would never show up again. I would be done. Ray would have to post a wanted ad on LinkedIn, and you would never hear from me again because I can't come back from that. I couldn't, and I can't, and I never will. But
Look,
yeah.
Look.
I'm a sad football fan.
So here let me take you all into my thought process. I'm like, do I have Owen talk about Josh Allen early in the show? I'm like, no. That wouldn't be smart. Because he's gonna he goes on his rant. I knew exactly what he was gonna say. And I'm like, I'm gonna have him talk about it after we talk about the Cowboys and the Jets game. Because he's gonna dig himself into a problem. And the problem is, all of his points are fair. I thought Josh Allen played terrible. I thought he made a lot of idiotic decisions. Actually, every decision he made in that game was stupid. And he should be shamed, embarrassed, made fun of, like clowned on for the rest of the year. I don't care how good he plays. The fact that he lost to the Jets in that fashion just by himself, that all he had to do was not do anything dumb after 4 plays into the game, and he found a way to do everything dumb, and they ended up losing. And that's fine. I'm not even mad that Owen made the rant. It's funny. Like, it's funny because Josh Allen is put on this pedestal that he doesn't deserve. And I know Owen's probably shocked to hear that coming from me because he thinks that I love Josh Allen. The truth is I don't love Josh Allen.
Wow.
I think he's talented. He's very good when he wants to be, but he's also just dumb. And that's why the Bills are still where they are, because he's dumb. But here's the problem. with this with what he said. He made a mistake, and he said if Dak played like Josh Allen against the Jets, the media would have a field day. And what did I say 5 minutes before he said that? I said the only way the Dallas Cowboys are going to lose to the New York Jets is if Dak Prescott implodes on the football field. That is the only reason they will lose. And you picked the Cowboys to lose.
I don't trust the team as a whole, as a collective 53-man group.
So what does that mean? It means the Cowboys are going to turn the football over. It means most likely the turnovers are going to come because the quarterback throws it to the other team. It also means the Cowboys are not going to be able to move the ball very well, which, I mean, that a lot of that is on the quarterback. Some of it is on the play calling. Owen would not like that because it would mean that he won't have Kellen Moore to escape with. It will be his guy, Mike McCarthy.
There were so many Charger fans on Twitter complaining about Kellen Moore's play calling. It was hilarious.
It's okay. It's okay because he's not here anymore. You don't have that excuse to fall back on anymore when Dak throws an interception.
The bad man can't hurt you anymore.
Yeah, he can't, and also he can't cover up all of Dak's interceptions anymore because he calls too many option routes. So,
I don't know, man.
Again, I'm gonna give you one more chance. You could save yourself. This is the lifeline. This is you falling into the lava. This is me throwing the rope from the clouds, saying, Owen, grab onto the rope. Let me pull you to safety. All you got to do is say, look, I'm nervous. I'm scared. I'm a little freaked out, but I'm going to trust that if I believe the Dallas Cowboys are who I think they are and who I think they can be, that they can beat the Zach Wilson Jets. You don't even have to pick them by a lot. You could say they win by 1 point. But I'm giving you the lifeline to say I trust my quarterback to beat the New York Jets without the guy that haunts the Dallas Cowboys basically forever. He's not playing. He can't hurt you. He can't throw 3 touchdowns in the last 8 minutes of the game. He's going to be at his house watching the game like you, not me. I'll be there. But he will be watching the game from his house. So all you got to do is just say, I'm changing my mind. I'm going to pick the Cowboys and save my trap game for week 4 when they play the Patriots. The 4 is yours. Will you take my lifeline?
No, I will not. Also, side point, the Eagles are playing the Vikings right now, and you want to talk about throwing ducks. Jalen Hurts just threw a duck in double coverage. Oh, this is a great day. This is a great day. It's a good day.
Well, Owen just sealed his fate.
I look forward to coming onto the show Monday or maybe even Sunday night. And I hope they win, but I don't feel great about the game. I think that things may be flying a little too high in Dallas coming off a 40-0 win. The Cowboys all said the right thing and said we're still gonna, they still have a great team regardless of who's playing quarterback, but I don't know. I don't feel great about the game. And therefore, I am sticking with my 20-17 victory by the Jets. And if, for whatever reason, the Cowboys do win the game, I will repent. And I will...
It's going to take an awful lot for you to be able to be forgiven by me. Because I gave you 3 chances to repent. So
I have to apologize to every future person we have on this show.
So if the Cowboys do win, I will be writing your apology letter, and you will read the apology letter
verbatim.
I won't even say verbatim. You can't add words. You can't delete words.
Okay.
You have to read exactly what it says, and we're gonna hit live. I'm not even gonna say anything. You're just gonna start reading that letter.
Hello, world. I am sorry.
Yep, that's exactly what's gonna happen. And you're not gonna be able to hide behind those sunglasses. They're gonna see your lovely, beautiful eyes.
Thank you.
They're gonna see them. They're gonna see the eyes. No hats. You won't be allowed to wear any Dallas memorabilia.
Okay.
There will be a I was wrong background. No Dallas Cowboys on your background. You have to be re-invited into the Dallas Cowboys club.
Okay.
That's how much of a disaster that prediction was.
See what I can do, man. I will see what I can do.
But yeah, that's basically the show. We really hope that the Eagles lose today. That would make my day really great. Because I hate the Eagles.
Yeah, the Eagles annoy me.
But yeah.
Yeah, the Madison is fumbled. That's good. Never mind. The Eagles are gonna win. I didn't do my picks for the week. No, that's very sad. I'll have to do that after we record. Well,
all right. Well, it's been a great day.
Owen.
It's been a great day with you all, with All About America's team, diving into the football world, having some fun banter, seeing Owen wear sunglasses indoors.
Yeah, it was good.
And I'm looking forward to being back at Jerry World. I've been before. It's been a while. The quarterback for the Cowboys will not be Tony Romo. That will be a little bit sad, but it's okay. I'll get over it because the Cowboys will win. And I'm looking forward to looking at the 60-foot-long Jumbotron instead of the field, because that's how captivating that ridiculous screen is. And I'll also be tweeting, like I said, at least 25 tweets is what you are getting from me on Sunday. They might not be all about the game. They might be about the Jumbotron or how expensive the concessions are, but you will get 25 tweets. And that's all I got to say. We'll be back next week. We're not sure yet if we're gonna do post game and pregame on the same show. Where we kind of felt that out a little bit in this show. It went okay, but we'll definitely see you earlier on in the week. I'm gonna say Tuesday. I'm penciling it in for Tuesday. It could be Wednesday, but it definitely won't be on Thursday. It'll be Monday, Tuesday, or Wednesday. And we'll talk about the Jets and maybe the Cardinals. We'll see. But that's all for me. Ray Nickens, I'll let Owen close this out.
Yeah, just
Mr. Cowboy himself who picked the Jets.
For all those that are still listening that have not given up yet, I do apologize for my atrocities. I plan on being more positive this year, but I think that I don't know. I think the Dallas will beat the Patriots, but I think that this is the trap game. Which also we didn't mention this, but sit Brandon Cooks until the 49er game, please. Sit everybody until the 49er game. I don't care. We could be one and. What are you rolling your eyes for?
Why? We're trying to win the conference.
I know that.
We don't need to sit everyone for 3 games. We don't need to lose any meaningful games.
I meant just like sit whoever if anybody is injured over the next 3 weeks, if it's just minor thing, just sit them until the 49er game.
Okay. All right.
That's what I meant. It's that's like he stubbed his toe, but if it's like if it's like a sit worthy injury, just sit him until the 49er game, because I don't think that a loss to the Patriots isn't really going to hurt you because it's the AFC team. The Jet really only if in my opinion, I guess only loss that really suck for you if you lose to the Cardinals, which won't happen. Unless Kyler Murray comes back.
Can happen, but the Jets is gonna happen. Okay. All right.
Huh?
See, it's fine. Let's get out of here.
Okay.
We're on a great track. We're not gonna backtrack anymore. We're on a good track.
But thanks everybody for listening. I'm looking forward to coming back on Tuesday or maybe sooner than that, talk about the Jet game. And yeah, we're planning on doing 2 episodes a week. This week was kind of crazy with grad school, but blame me for that one. But you'll be getting 2 episodes a week from the speaker for objectivity and his puppet. And yeah, we're looking forward to seeing how the rest of the year goes. I'm looking forward to having Ray complain, and Ray will have an opportunity to meet plenty of you Cowboy Nation folks, and he'll have a sign and everything like that. He'll have a sign. Maybe he will even show up in all head to toe Cowboys attire. Maybe have you decided what jersey you're gonna wear yet?
Yes, it is the luck. It's my lucky jersey. It's the jersey that I wear almost every Cowboy game.
And is that a Romo jersey?
I will be wearing my favorite player, my favorite Cowboy, Mr. Tony Romo. He's going to
my goodness.
he is going to protect the Dallas Cowboys from your blasphemy from coming true. Because what you said is so bad that it might come true, because that's how ridiculous it was. So I have to take drastic measures. I was going to support someone who's actually on the football team, was going to go out there with wearing Trayvon's number, but I have to take drastic measures because of you. So now you're gonna have to.
I hope everybody thinks you're wearing a Turpin jersey.
You're gonna have to apologize to Trayvon Diggs now. Actually, you can just think it. And the one last thing before we go. If you were my puppet on this show, you would not have picked the Jets. So let's just put it that way.
A very bad puppet.
But yeah, it's been great. I've had a good time.
Yes, this is a very laid back episode. It was weird
and fun.
Oh yeah, they're always great. I'll wear a suit next time.
Oh, you're gonna have to get back into the.
I'll have a podium, and I'll just hit the desk with the papers. Americans. I'll be like a presidential speech. But thank you all, Cowboys Nation, for all that you do and the support. And we cannot wait to hopefully be in your AirPods or whatever, however you else you listen to podcasts over the next 15 weeks. And that is all I have. But have a good night. Be safe and enjoy the football this week. Go Baylor. Go UT. Go Cowboys. Good night, Cowboy fans.
Go Cowboys. Yeah. Eagles suck. Go Cowboys.
Good night, Cowboy fans.